already noticed the shaky start. Poor connection, excuses, financial struggles. But here's the kicker. Being broke doesn't erase court obligations. Watch how quickly this goes from a simple payment issue to a much bigger problem.
And you were here with your attorney, Mr. Adams, and the state's attorney earlier pleaded guilty to the second-degree felony of robbery. The pre-sentence report has been prepared, and the parties had an opportunity to review it.
Yes, sir.
Any corrections or changes to it?
No, sir.
It's made a part of the record for all purposes.
5 minutes later.
So then, I didn't understand. I understand what happened. I'm reading the pre-sentence report, and it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yes, Your Honor. The victim of this case advised that she was, neighbors were going out of town. She was going over to feed the animals. That her ex-boyfriend, who she has a child with, showed up while she had left the baby in the car with the car running at the neighbor's house.
Yeah. So far, that's what I'm reading.
He shows up, tries to get her in the vehicle and take the baby. He pulls out a taser, and she grabs the baby. They kind of fight over it, and he tases her. She said it did hurt a little bit, but then he takes her vehicle and flees, and he was not apprehended until sometime later, I believe, somewhere in northern Texas. He had also to mention I don't believe she had saw in over a year at this point, so it's kind of out of nowhere he showed up.
That's okay. All of that I understand, but that's not what the indictment says. You didn't say anything about what the indictment says. It says caused bodily injury by striking the victim with the automobile.
This was, Your Honor, it was re-indicted.
It was.
Yes, Your Honor, to a robbery. It was initially filed as an aggravated assault and cause number 22-41243. It was re-indicted to cause number 23-41313.
There it is, bench warrant. Once a warrant is active, it's not just a slip-up, it's a ticking time bomb. Question for you. If you knew a warrant was hanging over your head, would you risk logging into court casually?
Which is a robbery. I apologize, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm following you now. So we've got 41313. Okay, I understand now. Pleaded guilty early.
Yes, I do.
Pre-sentence report was prepared by the probation office. Everybody's had a chance to review that.
Yes, sure.
And there are no changes or objections to it?
No, nothing.
All right. It's made a part of the record for all purposes. Anything you want to say?
Yes, Judge. Was wanting to point out, Judge, on the PSI, on page 4.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest things in his advantage is the screener.
No, let's walk back. Page 1.
Right. He's talking about.
I told her to get in the car, and even though I did have a taser, I did not use it. Well, isn't that interesting? Because you pleaded guilty under oath to intentionally and knowingly causing bodily injury to the complainant by tasing Ashley Juror. So who did you lie to? My officers or me? You can't have it both ways. You're not going to play games with the court. All right? Can you explain that? Lie. You lied somewhere. Here, you lied under oath. When we put you under oath, we said I plead guilty. Or
This is where the drama spikes. The custody fight turns into a taser attack and car theft. Legally, that's not just family drama. That's robbery with a dangerous weapon. Notice, baby was right there. High stakes, higher consequences.
pleading guilty violated all the elements of the crime. You said, yeah, and then you turn right around and tell me, my officers, although I had a taser, I did not use it. Why would you screw up like that? Why would you lie?
I mean, I just copped out because I thought it might be really cool.
Say that again?
I don't really understand. Like, I just.
Wait. Do you understand the truth versus a lie? Are you telling me you committed perjury when you pleaded guilty then? Which is another criminal action.
No, sir.
You committed perjury when you pleaded guilty to this crime, which says you tasered. That's what you swore under oath.
I think those crimes.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So you didn't tell the probation officer?
Yeah, I apologize. I'm sorry.
Right. Anything else?
Just, we can always like actually consider in probation. As I was saying earlier, I think good ones in the score and always so I thought that's something positive. He's not going to be a good use of these on board.
I know. It begs the question, so why is he here? He's such a low risk.
So I guess TRASP.
How many times have you been to prison?
And
I'm not talking to you. I hope I know how many times you've been in prison. Well, I'm talking to you. Why would you even answer that question?
I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to.
Oh, contradictions alert. He swore under oath that he tossed her, but now he's backtracking. Legal terms? That's perjury. Lying under oath. Judges don't just frown at that. They pounce.
Fine.
And I was just looking at.
Oh, look, the last time you went 4 years. Right. Time before that, let's see, you were on probation, that was revoked, and then you did a year and a half in state jail. So you've been to prison facility 2 separate times, not counting your misdemeanor 30 days jail in Bowie County. Is that right? Or am I missing something?
He's talking about this.
You got forgery, which is, of course, deceit. Then evading arrest and detention with a motor vehicle later in 2017, you got 4 years in prison, right?
Yes. All right.
Okay. Go ahead.
So just he was asking you really consider him for probation, and I understand that with this particular offense, he apologized for not being told the truth about the taser incident. Judge, I was asking to consider this is more of a crime, as a passion type thing, at least from my understanding. So he really loves his son. He spent a lot of time with his son. His son has been a big part of his life. When I met him, when I talked to him,
How old is your son?
he's just turned 3. He turned 3 years old, 5/11/20. And what happened was the young lady in this case, the complainant, and I'm not trying to justify anything at all, but I think that when she was not letting him actually see his child, and he had the relationship with his child, he grew up, did something that he absolutely missed. Now, was that right? No. But at the same time, just with the passions involved, when you got a man that really loves his kid, he's going to speak for himself. I don't want to speak for him. Can you tell the judge just exactly what was the background with the kid and what was going on that kind of caused you and pushed you what you did? And I know you're sorry for what you did, but what was the circumstances? Because if you tell us the circumstances, the judge might have some leniency on you. What was the circumstances? I mean, well, the circumstances were around 2 years. I decided that when I went back home to Chester County and split up, I had hopes with getting back together, but my drug addiction with methamphetamine and stuff, it's like you don't even have to do anything. You can mess your brain up real quick.
Don't blame it on the judge. That's your choice.
No, yes, my
Your
choice.
choice.
My
Your
choice.
choice. You know.
Yes, sir.
You know what it can do to you. You made a choice whether to get high as opposed to being responsible for a thing.
And I
You
showed.
chose selfish.
Yeah, but
A
that's
selfish guy. Okay.
So what
Well,
happened to you?
that's why you're here.
Yes,
In
sir.
an orange jumpsuit.
Yes, sir.
Because it's all about you. Which is not the way a family works.
It's not. So tell him what happened when you went to Keys. Tell him that you went to Keys. What happened? Well, I moved back down here. Was in the Salvation Army for several hours. And like for that whole past 2 years, it was like I was painting pictures through text, and I would drive down there 350, 400 miles, and I would just want to hug. See, that's what I went wrong, was going down there without letting her know I was coming. I learned that she can't do it like that. She didn't want her son around any kind of negative. Not.
Good for her.
That's true. I did.
Good for her. You put the family in harm's way. That's your choice. That was your choice. Where are you getting the next from again?
I would get it. I got it down here, and I got it.
Who? Where are you getting it from?
Where
are you getting it from?
Glass House, the road, Glass
Who
House.
is it selling?
His name's Sam. They call him Sam. I think his first name is Isaac. Call him Sam.
What about the cocaine?
You
You were using that regularly in 2013, right?
cocaine.
Where were you getting the cocaine from?
Here comes the crime of passion defense. Classic move, blame love, not logic. But here's the question. Does love excuse violence? Drop your thoughts, because judges rarely buy it.
Cocaine, that was mostly in Texarkana. I was people out in the neighborhoods.
Let's don't forget 18 years of cannabis use. Yeah. Where were you getting that from?
That would be in Texarkana. I never really smoked anything other than this smoke. Yeah. Never used anything.
So, but you were never addicted to it? To any of this?
Yes, I was in it.
Okay.
But I just decided that I just do one drug now. I just would do one drug. I don't even smoke weed. Wow. I guess what he was asking is that when she wouldn't let him see she was, and she had every right to it and using the girls, I think that kind of made him making an rational decision with her because he did have a relationship. I sure did. Right. And I think when she told him that she could not see the kid because of her loss, his mind made some real bad decisions at that point. And we're not justifying it. He's just asking for some reason. Because that was more of a passion in that situation. And not being to see his kid, they hurt his heart. They hurt his heart.
Well, he assaults the mother in front of the child. Is that the way this goes?
Not,
See, no.
so
That was not an excuse.
But with the drug problem, if you put him on probation with him being low risk, he can take whatever drug classes or programs that probation, and I know probation deals will work with him. And I guess he can do the anger management, the oral recreation classes. He could also
Anything. You've been in drug rehab 3 times. One of them is an absolute failure.
They sure were.
But you're ensuring you take care of it by going back. You've been to safety 3 times. That's the most. And failed. What state say?
Your Honor, the defendant's case, he wasn't able to see his child again because of his drug addiction. That was due to his own fault. Detective soon after this called Penny's mother trying to locate him. She advised she didn't know where he was. She calls Detective Powell back and says, I've spoken with him. He took the vehicle and did this because he wanted to see his child. Then he tried to negotiate by saying that he would get the vehicle back if he could see the child at that point.
Well, that's not the right way. Of course, this is what courts are for, to handle the family. domestic issues.
In Your Honor, I believe Detective Powell.
Put it in your own hands. Someone who's as irresponsible as you, it's going to be a failure.
So, in this report, it says Detective Powell states that he needs to go to prison for what he did, and that he'll do it again. He doesn't deserve probation; he'll do it again. He has received probation, like as the court knows. He's also received 4 years TDC, and in keeping consistent with this court's ruling and how it normally operates, state believes 8 years is more than a fair offer on this case, and that's what we're asking for.
What else?
Judge, without laboring the same point, I know he made a real bad decision with this kid, but I do want you to bring what has statement of interested parties, all attempts to contact the victim actually dragged and unsuccessful at this time. So to me, when I read that the victim in this case is not reaching out to the probation department saying, apparently she did not respond to their attempts.
Well, I have. With that, Your Honor, I have spoken with the victim, and she did wish for him to receive pen time. She did not say how much, but that was her request.
He's got this prior felony conviction in 2017 out of Bowie County, right?
Yes, sir.
We're 4 years in prison. So, for whatever reason, the state did not elect to use that as a prior enhancement, correct?
Yes, sir.
Anything else? That's all I need. If nothing further, I'm going to find that you pleaded guilty so voluntarily, you were mentally competent to do so, you understand the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea. The state exhibit 1 admitted in your plea hearing finds you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt and support your guilty plea. To make that finding, I hereby find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of second-degree felony of robbery. I am following this agreement, and you are hereby sentenced to confinement in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 8 years. You're looking really at 5 to 99 life sentences. And so you're punished really at the low end. But it just, you know better. You made poor choices. You're going to continue to make poor choices unless you somehow decide, with all the opportunities that you've had in drug rehabilitation, 3 times in drug rehabilitations, it's just a matter of you deciding that your family is worth more than you would provide. And until you decide that you make a conscious decision that you're going to quit being selfish and start being selfless, you're going to be back up in front of cases, because that's what life is in making a good choice versus a bad choice. Is it all about me, or is it all about family and others? Who do you put first? You've been putting yourself first until you decide that you're really number 3rd between family, creators, and until you start respecting and honoring others, most importantly, your family and this young child who you've done nothing but exhibit poor role modeling, which is easy enough to change if you want. This other case that's pending is going to be dismissed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Or it wasn't superseded. It wasn't a superseding indictment, was it?
No.
You placed another?
Well, yeah, actually,
We said a dismissal with a separate cause number.
Yes, sir.
All right, anything else on this man? Okay, that is all.
And boom, the gavel drops. 8 years behind bars. Now, here's the twist. That's actually the low end. He could have faced up to life in prison. What do you think, fair break or too much leniency?